Hello everyone, welcome to the Python introduction for beginners. Python is a general purpose programming language. It can work as a backend for websites. It can use in machine learning, artificial intelligence and all. This is the most wanted trends in 2022. Most wanted readed language. So it can use to create a web application, can modify files, it can do for machine learning, and it can perform complex mathematical operation. So with Python you can do almost anything very quickly. The most attractive thing is it is like an English language, like we JavaScript and other programming language. For beginners, it is very hard to understand the concept, but Python is like a normal programming language, normal English language. It's very easy to type and execute. So like you can see here, to print hello world, we can just write print bracket hello world. It's very simple. In another programming language, it takes a lot. So if you have installed the Python, you can search here like cmd command prompt. Go to that and type Python. So this means the Python has been installed with the 3.10 version. Any version of Python, no problem, but the concept mostly remains the same. If you don't have Python, go to python.org website. There you can download the Python according to your operating system, Mac, Windows or Linux. Once you download it, there is a but remember that I have already installed it, so I am not doing it again. There is an option to add to path, like Python. Here is, you can see in the image, it's an installation window for Python. Make sure there is a button add Python 3.82 path. Always make sure to click here, and you can install here with pressing here, not custom, manual installation, automatic installation. Just click here, it will be installed. Then close the window, close the cmd and restart. Type cmd again and take this window, type Python, and this will happen. If nothing happens, go to the downloaded folder. Like for example, I downloaded in C drive of my computer and I am in the Python folder. So you have to click here, Control C, copy the location of the Python. Okay, now I am copying. If you face any problem, like if you type Python here, if you didn't get this one, only do what I am telling again. Go to the Python file location and go to this, copy, then search in Windows like a environment variables. Edit the system environment variables, because we want system know that Python has been installed. So here environment variables, click here, and in system variable there is an option known as path. Edit it. Then here already Python is installed with me, so you can click here new and paste the file location we had copied, then press OK. It's OK. Okay, so it is being recorded in the system variable. So if you then close the cmd, type cmd again, command prompt, and write python, then it should come. For Windows 7 and all, the procedure is same. Just write in the search bar as a system variables. If you find the system variable, do the same thing. Or if you cannot find the system variables, just Google how to find system variable in Windows 7. I am using Windows 10 here. So the Python has been installed. Also, Visual Studio Code is very good to do program. I am using Visual Studio Code. Go to Visual Studio Code and download and just install. So I have already been installed the Visual Studio Code. So I am closing everything and I will start from new. Once you have installed the Visual Studio Code, go to search and type Visual Studio Code, press here. The window has been launched. Initially you will not have this terminal down, so you can click and drag up and it will come here. And in the terminal down, it's always will be hidden like this. Click and go up. Just type Python, so it will come here. So this is an interactive area with Python, where if you type anything, the code will execute. If you want to print your name, you can write like print bracket open your name bracket close. See, your name has been printed. So now we can start learning the Python. Also, this is interactively we will do. If you want to do exit, type exit and two square bracket, then the Python will be exited. We will create a new Python file here, or we can start from scratch. I go to my desktop, I create a new folder. We'll call it my Python or anything, and take a Visual Studio Code. Then just drag and drop here. If it didn't work, go to file and open folder, desktop, my Python, select folder, and it will open a new window where our everything we can start from here. So once you get it, create a new file here known as my first dot py. Call it as my first dot py, and here drag and up. The terminal will come, so you can type your code here like first Python code we can write can be print f. If you want to execute this one, we have to write python, then my first.py, the file name, my first.py. See, the ff has been printed. So the next thing is Python indentation. That means we will write a small program. If x is greater than, if 5 is greater than 3, so it is checking if x5 is greater than, it is true, we know. Then print, oh, it's true. So Python have an indentation. So when you do say double colon here, just click enter. So this gap, it will understand that it is coming after the if statement. If I do not keep this gap, it gives an error. We have to keep a proper indentation in Python. If I do python my first.py, we get result, oh, it's true. So the next file, so the next topic is syntax error. Like I told you before, if we do not keep the indentation, this will give an error. It's a expected internal block after if statement down line 1. We have to keep, I will press tab here. So it work. So indentation is, always you have to do indentation in Python. Next is variable in Python. In Python, any in JavaScript, something like that, we have to mention var or let to declare variable. But in Python, if you write x is equal to 5, then Python will understand that x is an variable. Means x can assign to any value. If you write print x, now we know Python will, we get result 5 because x grab the value of 5. If then x is equal to this value, can check, we get the next result. X initially grab this number 5, then x grab the another number. So this is variable. X can assign anything, like for example al. It can also take some letters. Okay, these are Python variables. And when you do programming, if you want to do comments, you can just press hash key. So whatever comes after hash key, computer will ignore it, program will ignore it. Now we have seen about a Python variable. So the next important thing is Python if else. Like we said before, we will see how to use if else. If 1 is equal to 3, print true. Else print false. In Python, this program gives an error. We can check 1 equal to 3. We should not write. We should write equal to 3, because when double arrow is written, it's comparing. If single equal sign, it means assigning one value to another. Double arrow, double equal sign means it's just a fact check. If 1 equal to 3, it's error, it's wrong. So if it is true, it would have execute. Then it didn't execute. Else false will execute. We see we get the result false. It is 3 is equal to 3. We get true. Next important thing is Python while loop. Like I copy each one and paste here. In this program, you can see I is equal to 1. A variable I is being initiated and given value 1. While I less than 6, as long as 1 less than 6, print I, then print the I. You see we get the result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While I initially program will assign 1 to I, then check if 1 less than 6, it is true, then print the value of y, I mean 1. Then I plus equal to 1, another 1 added with the existing 1, so the value of I become 2. Then it check this condition, that come here, then 1 will be added until it is 6. When it becomes 6, it go here and check if 6 less than 6, it gives error, so the print of 6 will be aborted. For example, if I less than 6, print I, and if we do not give the increment, then what will happen? 1 less than 6, print I means now I have a value of 1. Then it will check again, it's true, it will print, it will check again, print, then it will continue as long as we break the terminal. You see, we are getting thousands of 1 here. Then it can hang the computer. Now we will see about the break. It's like when a programming happens, I will terminate my previous program by Ctrl C. When a program happens, if we want to terminate it on a special condition, we can use it. For example, I copy it and paste here. I equal to 1 while I less than 6, print I. If I is equal to 3, break I plus 1. If there is no this code and we execute it, we will get 1 to 5. These are hidden here. So if I is equal to 3, when I is equal to 3, break, then this one will not continue. So we get 1, 2, 3 only. Initially it was 1, it passed, print 1. Then it was 2, then it check if 1 is equal to 3, it's wrong, so break does not happen, it incremented. So it was 2, then 2 printed, it is wrong, so this one didn't execute, become 3. When 3 is less than 6, it print 3. If 3 is equal to 3, then it is true, so a break happen. So this is the break code. Also, instead of break, if it is continue, I mean if I is equal to 3, you no need to break, it is continue code, then it will execute as usual. Then it will continue infinite. So we have seen it. Then the important thing is, another one is Python arrays. Like this one, cars. Cars is an variable. It contains an array. Different car companies are here. So this is an array. If we do print of cars, we will get the result. Also, like we seen before, if we want to access, I will copy this one, paste here. Cars equal to, there are 3 car, and if you want to print any one car, we can write here, print a car 0 means fort, because counting start with 0, 1 and 2. So if car 0 means 0th element fort. If car 1, it is become Volvo. If it is 3, it become BMW. Sorry, 2, BMW. If it is 3, it never gives because there is no car. If you add any other car like Benz, we get, because this one is first element, this is second. Sorry, counting start with 0, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. So next, length of an array. If we need array length, we can write cars dot leng length. Sorry. Length of cars. Because there are 4 elements inside of it. So if we want to print everything inside of the car, we can write it like for X in cars, print X. So we get the resultant cars. I am just editing the layout. See, I have just changed the terminal to here. You don't have to do, I just do it for your reading easiness. So we have seen the arrays in Python, and so almost we have, these are just an introduction to Python. Hope you get an idea.